जय श्री कृष्ण, जय श्री रामचंद्र, जय श्री लक्ष्मी नृसिंह, वंदे मातरम। सर्वेभ्यः भारतीयेभ्यः अस्माकम् अत्यन्तं प्रियतमस्य नवभारतवर्षस्य गणतन्त्र शुभदिनावसरे शुभाशयाः। I'd like to wish every Bharatiya a very happy Republic Day, and I very much wish I could say this in every Indian language, but due to the shortage of time, I'd like to proceed to a very important point that defines our nation. Being a republic, a very important point that we must note is that a republic and its future is defined by the quality of its public or the people, which unfortunately over the last 800 years has been rapidly declining, and it hit a rock bottom around the late 1940s. Ever since then, it's been recovering at a snail's pace, owing to, of course, the massive karma that we have accumulated on this land that we are still experiencing. The good news is we are seeing some light at the end of the tunnel, and one very powerful moment for that was 2020, when the global scales of power have just tipped a little bit to allow us a breath of fresh air. And in 2030, we shall get another such golden opportunity. We're right in between the two, and what we are seeing is tremendous and unprecedented transformation. And I expect this to continue at breakneck speed for the next few years easily. And I've been saying this from quite some time now, owing to my faith in Jyotish Shastra, which has been repeatedly cemented by the wonders of this beautiful Vedic tradition. Today, of course, I'm sure a lot of you want to hear specific astrological predictions for the country. However, it's not very easy to predict the future of this nation. Uh, we are a civilization. At the same time, we are also a nation. We are a fledgling democracy that has been struggling to rise and fly so far. And we are a lot of other things apart from being a beautiful, diverse country plagued by problems of both kleptocracy and inadequate governance throughout. And now we're seeing some rays of hope. And it's very important to repeatedly analyze exactly where this country is heading. In 2026, basically in Jyotisha, we have a simple method. We cast a chart for a specific event, and we collect the exact planetary positions of each graha. Of all the grahas, we consider the sun one of the most important, as it signals the journey of the spirit through the zodiac. And the exact position of the sun at the time of a pivotal or monumental event is noted. And every year from that point of time, we cast a chart when the sun returns to the same position. It is called a progressed horoscope or a Varshaphala chart. There are many variations of these, but the variation I use um, shows that as I speak now, at this very moment, the sun has just returned to the same position as it was when the country was announced to be a republic and ceased to be a dominion of the colonial powers that ruled us. That was on the 26th of January 1950 at about 10:18 a.m. based on the sources I collected in New Delhi. And I casted a chart for that. Obviously, anyone with a simple knowledge of Jyotisha would realize that it's not the very best of charts, that you could not the most optimistic of charts, which indeed does signal that the republic that we are currently living under is about to undergo some tremendous transformation that would partially render the current status of this country no longer the way it is at the moment. And this is to happen soon. I have spoken about this in 2022 and once more in 2023 as well. Those changes are coming. But before we go to those changes, another very important thing I'd just like to share with everyone is that this year specifically, just a few clues about this year. I myself am not very much aware exactly how and where things are going to be heading for this year precisely. But since it's a Republic Day, I decided I should share at least a few important things about the country. And if there is one thing, I would say that this year is going to be very helpful for Bharata. At the same time, there might be a small financial niggle somewhere around August to September of this year, and there might be a few other humps that we might have to uh, just somehow cross. there it is a slightly bumpy road ahead for this year specifically. 2027 seems a lot more kinder, and we have to go through this small transition. So this year is going to be a little bit problematic in terms of, and it's just a very short period. So that's something we need to be careful about. Otherwise, it's an excellent year. We're going to see tremendous transformation. India is going to make some very significant scientific contributions as well this year. After a very long time, the last time we've made great scientific contributions completely independently, it's been a very, very long time, quite a few decades. In comparison to other civilizations and countries. And we, as I mentioned earlier, are now rising again. And this year is going to be pivotal, especially for the innovative spirit of our youth. And we're going to see some interesting things coming out of the country's youth, especially that which is helpful for humanity on scale. So that's one positive aspect. We're also going to see some interesting developments in artificial intelligence that are going to come out of our country after, again, quite some time. And even though this might not be to the scale of what is happening in the competitors of Bharata, that shall happen even more rapidly around 2030 to about 2035. The progress that we're going to see, especially after 2033, is going to be tremendous. So, that aside, 2026 otherwise is going to be great. As I mentioned earlier in one of my videos, um, this is also a very important year in terms of security. The Around the end of April as well as around November, there are two periods that Bharata needs to be very careful about. And these are just a few things that I can see for now. And apart from that, I really hope, I pray every single day that this beautiful Bharat Desha of ours, to whom we owe everything, we have a rina, a debt, a civilizational debt. Every single Bharatiya born on this soil, or anyone who has anything to do with this soil, owes to this country a lot, and it is our responsibility to sort the mess that has been created for whatsoever reason. And it is our karma that we are born here for both positive reasons and to experience and get rid of some of the negative karma that we have accumulated. And it is our duty to ensure that we utilize our time here to make it better for everyone around us. And this message must be passed on to every single Bharatiya. There are some amazing people out there who are working to develop the civic sense of our Bharatiyas, to develop the hygiene in this country, which is absolutely important, to develop the basic common sense that people very regularly seem to lack, owing to, again, quite a few reasons. Some of them could be due to the lower positioning on the Maslow's hierarchy of needs in this country, which is, again, our duty to lift those people out of. So there's a lot of work to be done. This year is going to be phenomenal. There are just 2 or 3 risks that we must be aware of. And otherwise, it is going to be quite positive. And if there is anything else, I will definitely make another video. This was just a prayer and a wish and a few clues about Bharata for the next 1 year. Further updates I will definitely share on the channel. Dhanyavad, Jai Shri Krishna, and Vande Mataram, Jai Hind.